Daniel from East Coast Boats in Bairnsdale, the owner and builder of East Coast Boats. No, we weren't supposed to be here. We got beached as. Got the boat beached, got wet, pushed it off, put our gear back on, and here we are, back at Refuge where we started. The initial plan was to, was Flinders Island, but Bass Strait being Bass Strait just hasn't happened. Probably had 2 metres out there yesterday, and that was in nice and close, so I don't think it would have been a good idea to try and venture to Flinders. Yeah, basically our backup couldn't get to Flinders, so thought, well, we'll look around the prom. Plenty of little coves and beaches and places to get in there, the weather, and it's scenic, it's beautiful. Really nice spot. A lot of history too, obviously, with all the boats that have come through here over the years, and you know, a lot of the Sydney to Hobarts, if the weather's shitty, they end up parked up in here, anchored up in here. Big cliff faces and yeah, beautiful beaches. It's a magic spot. It's not the home of the Battle of the Big V anymore. It's the home of East Coast Boats. All started, when I was fishing from a young age with my dad. Got into, that just got me interested in boating, working on carbon fibre race yachts in Hart Marine in Mornington. Did my apprenticeship there. Moved back to Lakes Entrance and started work as a shipwright. So I worked at an old shipyard for about 6 to 7 years, repairing timber boats. And then the call sort of got bigger for fiberglass repairs because obviously there's not many timber boats around anymore. Basically went from there to wanting to get back into boat building, which is what I always wanted to do, what my passion was. So I'd been doing a lot of modifications on Haynes Hunters. From there, had a local ab diver come in, wanted an old 19 rebuilt and put back into survey, which was not really worth doing. Threw an offer at him to build him a new boat, and he gave us some specs and some stuff as to what he wanted done and how it needed to be. That's how the 605 came along. The first one was basically based off a 565 Haynes, lengthened, widened, added around 70 mil of depth to the keel, so it's got rocker forward and aft. Obviously made the boat longer by 450 mil. But we've done all those things to carry weight better, be a bit softer ride, perform just a better performing boat, really. It basically kicked off from there. I think once people started seeing them, realising that you can have a boat that's very safe, predictable, still soft riding, fast, and really can do a lot of really good attributes, but without too many sacrifices. And from there on out, the orders kept coming in, and I think we built 30 of them. So it's going pretty well. Still going. The research we put into it, we've had naval architects, like we've had Paul Bury and Dax helping us from day one, getting the balance and all the other structural aspects of the boats pretty much spot on. Hulls and a full vinyl ester built, pretty heavily laid up, very heavily laid up. A lot of stitch cloth, a lot of biaxial and double bias through the hulls. The stringers are full length fiberglass, so make them in-house, the box section. We probably go the next step over a few others. We glass the internals of that box section as well. A lot of guys will just do the outside. Full fiberglass transom. Everything's foam filled. Fuel tanks are built in-house. They're vinyl ester built by us. Basically bomb-proof construction. Not going to break it. Everyone was going smaller boats, and then all of a sudden divers started ringing wanting bigger boats again. Basically we were talking about the boat. Me and Kyle one night about saying, well, what about we build a bigger boat? Got Paul Bury in, they scanned the 6 metre.
So that was the starting point. And from that, we had a design brief from Daniel, which was basically the length and what sort of configuration you wanted, which was a hard top. And then from that, we basically went to sort of first principle design on the hull, had a look at the geometry we needed to make sure we had enough stability. So we knew that we had to make it meet commercial stability criteria. And that sort of drove initial design right from the get-go, really. I mean, it sort of makes the boat work really well in recreational use, obviously, but having to pass AMSA requirements for carrying passengers at sea really makes you focus on the fundamentals of getting that stability right, the location of the centre of gravity right. So that sort of that's where we came from to start with on this boat.
Yeah, basically with the 765, we've gone as aggressive as I believe you possibly can without starting to have too many handling, issues and compromises. So it's still a 24-degree dead rise boat, around 60 at the bow, so it's very sharp. There's a few other pretty smart things going on under there.
It's essentially a transversely stepped hull, so which means that you don't actually have spray rails on the surface, you have steps in the hull, and that effectively gives you a wider chine beam for the same dead rise angle. So that was perfect for what we were targeting, because we wanted to get the volume out of the hull down low and into the sides, into the chine as much as possible, because that helps stability. And the seakeeping of that hull of the 6 metre was really quite good already, so we didn't really want to mess with that too much.
Touching on our hull design and the running strakes, these are those transverse steps. Basically not like a conventional strake where it cuts back in on itself. With what we've done with this idea, it's been used for a lot of years in America in a lot of race boats. It's now starting to come through Australia and it's seen a bit more readily, but basically keeps a clean flow of water running over them all the time, vents out the back, so you always got nice clean water running off the hull, very efficient. But this added section here also adds buoyancy. And because of the angle difference between the sort of dead rise in the bottom of the hull and that, you're increasing dead rise. So, for seakeeping abilities, far better than a conventional strake. Makes them a bit more efficient as well. So we did all that. It also increases your dead rise, but from like a conventional deep V hull, the hull is just what it is. If it's 24 degrees, it tapers to sharper at the front. But these, because of the way the strakes are designed, each one steps out. So you come in a foot from the transom, you're at about 36 degrees dead rise on one of our hulls. So very soft riding, very predictable. Yeah, good safe boat. We put a lot of time and effort into getting the centre of gravity right in the boat, trying to keep weight down out of the hard top.
You need to have the right hull geometry, you need to have the right location of the centre of gravity of the vessel, so that's fore and aft and vertically. If your centre of gravity is too high, it doesn't matter really what you do, the thing's not going to work. So we really have to keep the weight down low. That's why we've got solid running surfaces below the chine, but chord topside, chord cabin house, chord deck. So yeah, you just got to put the weight where you need it and not where you don't. Every part of this boat has to go into the weight analysis. So basically we have a massive big spreadsheet that has like 1,000 elements in it. Every piece of that boat, including every layer of fiberglass, goes into that weight study. So we have to assume that Daniel makes the boat in a certain way. So these boats aren't infused, they're all hand laid and hand consolidated. Very small amount of chopper gun. So we can kind of assume there's a resin ratio in that. And we also validate that with previous builds. We're using that information to work up a full weight study, and that gives us the weight and the location of that weight, which we plug into the powering analysis we do and the stability analysis we do before the boat's built.
The hard top on the new ones now is approximately 117 kilo with windows and internal liner, so it's pretty light for a big hard top, considering they're all 6mm glass windows. The whole sides is foam cord. The deck's all foam cord. So the deck's, it's an 8 metre boat and 3 of us can carry the deck around the shed. So it's, nice and light.
It has to be done, the design has to be done to a sufficient level that it's not an experiment and you put it in the water. You don't go, oh, I wonder how it's going to go. You just know how it's going to go. It's going to go fine. We don't want to be changing boats once they're moulded and once they're in the water, because It's just a nightmare. You can't change the things that make the boat work, which is the hull geometry. And it's hard to change the structural layout as well if it's not designed correctly from the onset.
All right, so the boat we came here on this trip is Kyle Hughes' 765. Kyle is a menace. Look, it's a hardcore fishing boat that's got a bit of creature comforts.
Yeah, been on a journey with the boys. It's wicked. All in all, coming together well. I love it. I reckon the beer bill is dearer than the fucking boat, to be honest. Someone that hasn't been in it, you have to drive it. It handles it, it punches well, it runs well with the travelling sea. So infield running strokes, obviously every little cavity running forwards creates its own lift to give it the comfort and the fucking soft ride that it has. 765, 249 beam, so right on legal towing width, 4150 on the trailer, full, ready to rock and roll. Dead rise, so you're 24 at the transom, variable dead rise through the front to about 60 at the front. Very aggressive. Paul obviously blew up from the 6 metre, and we find it works well with it. Lone Star GX3 winch up front. So we got Shane from deck to do the flooring. He did an unreal job. 2 captain's chairs, seat boxes, full Plastech fit out. King's fridge, because I was a tight ass. Then sort of thereafter is the same thing. We've got a Fusion sound system fit out, which is the heart of the boat, as you boys know. That was the main thing I was worried about. Getting it built was the wiring for the stereo, not the sounders. And then going back, yeah, we've pretty much got full 2, obviously slimy tubes and live bait tank, something to feature I just sort of put together and thought, fuck it, I'm gonna run it, looks cool. And it works well. So there and there, hook them, 2 deck wash pumps, so you got like high volume, high pressure. Huge battery storage in each back pocket. So this boat we've got here's got 2 big AGMs on one side as house batteries. The other side, the 2 crank batteries. Full, Fusion sound out, Garmin, twin Garmin 16s, full Garmin spec'd, pretty much. We contacted Garmin, spoke with Leonard down there and said, this is what we want to do. This is the budget, what can you provide? And it was like buying a Ferrari. Said, well, here's every checkpoint you need to do. If you want it, you tick the box. Well, we pretty much ticked the box twice on everything. Fairly heavily wired up arrangement in it, from transducers to, the sonic camera, radar, sat compass, 2 kilowatt through hull. Yeah, it's got all the fruit. 200 Zooks on the back. They've been tuned to 250s. So I brought them actually secondhand with low hours. Great combo. Does it well, pushes it well. We're getting sort of that now with the 3-bladers on it, sort of the 80k an hour. Prior to that, 4 blades for some reason was doing like 88, but light ship too. You're talking 100 litres of fuel on an ascend across the lake. It holds 550 litres of fuel, and at cruise you can do about 880 kilometres before you need a refuel. So cruising speed of say 50k an hour, it's pretty good. Go a long way. And yeah, I forgot about the ballast. It's got about 500 litres of water ballast, so it floods as soon as you stop. It sits very nicely, very stable. I think its presence is the initial thing. People go, like, this thing's big. This is a big boat. It must perform, must be good, because it looks good. Having a boat this calibre, yeah, it's cool, it looks cool, does everything, but to me it's like, you know what, if you want to come fishing, jump in. You want to come fishing, jump in. Come for a trip, as opposed to, we're going to catch fish. Talking about our dive door, it's big. It's the biggest dive door you've ever seen. So our boats are built for basically commercial people in mind. So that door being 1 metre wide, you can get a fish bin through there with your hands on each side without jamming your fingers or anything, which is great too for what we've done this weekend. Just get eskies in and out of it and swags, everything else. So I've got Ben, who bought a 605 off us maybe 1.5, 2 years ago. Yeah, so he's come up with one of his mates, Nick. It's a very nice boat, that one of his. 300 Merc on the back, so it's a bit of a rocket ship.
She's a ripper, yeah. They are super smooth, yeah. Look, I've got the 300 on the back, so it's pretty quick. So I've got the 16 Simrad JB stereo system. Got the 175 high, wide, low, through-hole transducer. Got the stainless done, so hopefully eventually it'll come the radar, and that'll be basically it, I think, you know. It's got a 320 litre fuel tank, so you're pushing, you know, depending on anything, I suppose, but 400 or 500 Ks, I suppose, out of it, and comfortable speeds 60, 70 Ks, you know. And you bump it up once you're flat out, you know, probably 80, 88, 89 Ks, I suppose, 90 Ks, yeah. So it's still fair moves, yeah. But it's comfortable, you know, you don't have to touch the steering wheel, like it just tracks straight. It drives well, yeah, it is a good boat. Oh, Daniel, yeah, he's an absolute gentleman. Yeah, no, he's a lovely guy, easy to talk to, definitely knows his stuff. And that was the other thing that pushed me over the line, I suppose, with the boat, because I looked at a lot of them. He was just easy to talk to. I knew he was building the boat for me, personally, so that helped with the decision I made. Got a relationship, you know, sort of talk on the phone probably once a week now, I suppose, see how he's going, and he does the same with me.
And Scotty, who he bought just ripping off Dylan, which is a mate of mine.
It's an ECB 605, 2 new motors, the new Suzukis, which are awesome. Simrad 16. That had the Simrad 16 already in it. I put the 12 in it. The radar, the autopilot was already there. The 5100 module. The handling on this thing is phenomenal. It's very, very sturdy at even top speed.
It's great to see what we build and what we do and people enjoying them, but I guess it's good being here to enjoy it with them. I think it's been like that since day one, the whole journey of building them. You know, everybody basically we build boats for has become a friend, and we speak to them regularly and seeing how they go, seeing the smiles on people's faces, and we seem to get the same sort of people all the time that buy them. Like, they're always, you know, they've had previous boats, haven't had good experiences. They want a boat that they can be a part of it being built, customise, you know, things to a point. Basically, when they come in and see the build process and how they're put together, people start to realise that, you know, it's not another production boat. Look, the motto is that you're building your boat your way. You know, basically our sole attention is on you and your boat until you receive it. Like, they're built for life, really. They're backed by a lifetime warranty. I enjoy it, yeah. I enjoy it. I'm never completely happy or satisfied with something, and I think that drive and the passion for it keeps me going. I love building stuff, putting an idea down and then making it happen, and love seeing people happy. People that buy our boats generally end up very happy. Big smile on their face, so yeah, it's good.